favorite number is 12 for purposes of this story. Hey, Brandon.
Oh.
LeBron changing from 23 back to 6 is blank.
Listen, LeBron's such a great teammate. I don't think this is about LeBron James. Like, I was going to go with a hidden message and try to figure out what it means and how symbolic it is. But I think this is more about AD and the missed opportunity for AD. When I went from the Denver Broncos to the Miami Dolphins, 15 wasn't available. I had to play in 19, and it just felt uncomfortable to the point where my game suffered a little bit. So I truly believe this is a missed opportunity for AD. Why wouldn't you take this layup? He's giving you the alley-oop. Take number 3 so you can get back to where you were. Now, you flashed in a bubble, but this past year, I don't know what happened. So I think this is LeBron James. Like, you know what? I felt this a little bit, and I had to do a little bit of changing the numbers back in the day. So I'm going to give it back to you. And now he's sitting there saying, I'm going to stay with number 3? Nick, I don't get it.
Yeah, so that's an interesting angle, the Anthony Davis part of it. There's a lot of ways to attack this. Listen, I could use this time here to mention that LeBron James is also going to be number 6 in Space Jam, which, of course, comes out July 16th. You can buy your tickets now, but I'm not a shill. So instead, I'm going to talk about somebody else. This is actually great for Devin Booker. It's a boon for Booker. Oh. Wilds. All of a sudden, Devin Booker has in his possession the last ever LeBron James game-worn 23 jersey.
Oh,
think about that.
Wow.
He has it. Like, that was already a special thing in and of itself. But if that is actually the last time he ever wore a 23 jersey and Devin Booker has it, that's a hell of a coup for him. It's all coming up Suns right now in Booker. So this is, I think, a boon for Booker.
I mean, I guess so. Devin Booker also is going to sign like a $200 million extension or new contract.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the jersey's financial value.
Rich gets richer.
Have that jersey. I could.
Extra
also,
meal
you'd have to
laying
sell to
around?
someone named Devin, which is okay. Here's my thing, and Brandon, I'm going to throw it back to you, so get ready. I love this story because as much as I like watching LeBron James play, I also like trying to figure out the Easter eggs that he lays all over social media. And I'm changing my jersey. He wanted to change it. So remember, this story starts because Pat Riley decided to retire Jordan's jersey while Jordan was with the Wizards. The Wizards came to play the Heat, and Pat Riley's like, you know what? We're going to retire your jersey for the Heat. No one in the Heat will ever wear 23. So the only 2 teams that have Jordan's number retired are the Bulls and the Heat. And your memory is not, confusing. He never played for the Heat. So then I believe that was the impetus of why LeBron had to change his jersey. But I want to get to our friend Brandon Marshall. Brandon, you just slyly said your game suffered because you had to change to number 19. I don't think you were just kind of saying it. I think you were really out there, like, dropping balls.
You said that
because
before.
You looked down and you saw 19, you're like, get rid of this. And then the ball hits you in your chest. You're like, oh, God. How did that actually play out?
Wilds, I don't know, man. You see it all the time. One player goes to another team. They pay 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 for the jersey. It's symbolic, man. Guys grow up wearing the same number. It's a mental thing. We talk about it all the time, mindset. So I don't know, man. All I know is I was a Pro Bowl player in Denver, averaging 105 catches a year, and I get to Miami, and all of a sudden I got 80 catches. It was like, I was nervous. It's like I was
Can I ask one follow-up?
Give me the ball.
Go ahead, Nick.
Just one follow-up before we get to Weird and Wonderful. Because in Denver, your quarterback was Jay Cutler. In Chicago, your quarterback was Jay Cutler. Who was the quarterback in Miami? Who was it?
Oh, anything is possible. Your boy, anything is possible. Chad Henning.
Well, that might
Chad Pennington,
have a
Tyler
little more to do.
Thigpen.
Thigpen.
Matt Moore.
Thigpen. You could have been wearing all the numbers. They could have given Brandon infinity. It wouldn't have mattered. Thigpen's throwing you the ball. What are we talking about? Have to pay me.
Time now for Drawing a Blank. Tom Brady's coming off post-Super Bowl knee surgery. We saw him going full speed in minicamp this week. He talked yesterday about what he's working on. Take a listen.
It was probably, something that was certainly needed to be done, and there's a great outcome. So I'm very happy about that. I feel I'll be able to do some different things this year than I was able to do last year.
Oh, pray tell. Hey, Brandon, Tom Brady's comments on his off-season surgery are blank.
Sounds good, Jenna. That's what the answer is. You just saw LeBron James on the shop. He had Jay-Z come in, sit in a chair, and they talked. And LeBron said something interesting. He talked about, when you're a player and you go to that first camp, you'll never be 100% again. So I don't know why us players continue to tell ourselves this lie. I mean, I keep saying us, I'm retired, I'm done. But players, you always think you're going to get back to 100%. So as soon as you bring that car out of the garage, it's going to get rained on. Somebody's going to ding it when you park it. So you'll never be 100% again. So it sounds good. But as soon as you get to camp, you're going to be dealing with something. It's going to be an ankle. It's going to be a hamstring. It's going to be a quad. The best players in the world find a way to get it done, to play at a high level, dealing with something. So sounds good.
All right, so this is confounding for me. And listen, I am the show's historian and archivist, but Wilds is the Tom Brady resident historian and archivist. What is he talking about that his knee was preventing him from doing that he used to do in his career? Tom Brady's most famous runs all have one thing in common, Wilds. They're 6 inches forward on a quarterback sneak. So what was this, like a lack of agility or mobility hurting him in a way that I have forgotten? So help explain it to me, Wilds, because for the time being, this is quite confusing.
Well, sure. I'm happy to explain to you. Tom Brady is a mobile quarterback. He's had 3 100-yard rushing seasons back earlier in his career. The last 3 seasons in New England, he ran for 28 yards, 35 yards, and 34 yards. But in Tampa Bay, he only ran for 6 total yards. That means he fell off by a multiple of 5. So now that the knee is fixed, I'm looking at a return to greatness. Look for about a 30 to 37-yard season, 5 times as good as last year. The GOAT is back.
What is happening?
The GOAT is back.
Oh, my God.
Goats don't run. We talked about that yesterday, Wilds.
Oh, fair point.
Goats don't run. They just sit there, get older. Talk some LeBron James. He's changing numbers again. Career thus far.
Wow. Oh, they play tonight?
Jordan Love has made his presence known at Packers OTAs. You know you've got the schedule tattooed on your back, Brandon. Don't act like you don't. Should Aaron Rodgers take notice of what Jordan Love is doing? And Fitzy.
On my leg.
Fitzy Fitzmagic. Is that a cicada in your beard?
It's my baby.
It is.
That's my
It's
baby.
gross. It is gross.
What is that?
Sorry. First
What is that, Jenna?
I'm sorry.
On a third.
Why is he on the Mac Jones workout plan, Brandon? Because that ain't the best athlete workout plan.
He's on the Ben Roethlisberger.
No, Mac Jones
and it's
is on the
worked out
fitness
just fine
plan.
for Big Ben. Obviously, Brandon, your boy's unbothered by the fact that he's got an animal on his face, is what I will call it. All right, we'll get to all that in a second. We got to start the NBA. Who knows what that was? Nuggets, Suns, game 2 and second verse, same as the first. Phoenix continues to look like the most balanced team in the playoffs, led by Chris Paul. 17 points for Chris Paul, 15 assists, 0 turnovers. Suns with 6 guys in double figures. That's why they rolled to a 25-point win. Another reason, Nuggets didn't show up. Here's head coach Michael Malone.
Saw one team that wanted to be here and play with a purpose and urgency, and one team that did not want to be here and play with no urgency. And that's why we got our ass kicked. This was an embarrassing performance from myself all the way through the last player. We're walking out of here with our heads held down, rightfully so.